Happy Thursday, everyone. My name is Angela. I do the Raw and Real podcast. I am a health and life coach with Alignment Transformational Coaching. That's my business. You can Google it, you'll find it. Exciting moves on that this week. Got some Google reviews, and I'm really excited about that. Thank you to those of you who did Google reviews for me. I so appreciate it. Thank you so much. This week I want to give you a little update on my RA and my mental health. So RA update really quick. I have less than a week left of my prednisone. My body, if I miss a dose of prednisone, my body's like, hey, you forgot that, just so you know. It's kind of obnoxious. So I'm a little bit nervous about coming off of that, but also excited to begin my transition into high amounts of fruits and vegetables and low amounts of fats and protein. I'm excited to do that because I think that I'm going to start to feel a lot better. I'll have more energy and all those kinds of things. My gut will feel better. Very excited. I'll continue to update you guys on that. And I'm really excited to start to notice changes in my joints that aren't because of medication. So I'm just really excited about it. That's super brief summary. Moving on. Mental health has been basically trash. Not trash. I've been in a lot worse situation. It just feels that way because I've made so much progress in the last 2 years. So in the last 2 years I've come, just so far. And to have a month of multiple really intense trauma responses in a week. So sorry. It's early. I'll get to that in a second. So to have back-to-back trauma responses is just so exhausting. So exhausting. And so, they've been more spaced out, but they've been really intense. And so then I have this hangover from the trauma response, and that can last for a couple days for me. So this month has been difficult because of that. And I have a couple of months in the year that I know are going to be more challenging. I forgot April was one of them. I think that I've struggled in April in the past. Honestly, I don't remember. But this is we forgot that it can be this bad. Because we've made so much progress. How cool is that? And I have to continuously remind myself that, I have been in way worse situations for way longer and still was functional, or at least semi-functional. And now I'm like, hey, this sucks, and I've made so much progress. This is cool. So, yeah, we had a few PTSD, nightmares, flashbacks, just a shit show, man. So now the last few days I've been on the up and up again. I've really been working hard on processing through things, and being patient with myself and giving myself time to recover. So Easter was this past weekend, and I had a lot of trauma responses that I was working through earlier in the week last week, and had a pretty intense trauma response on Friday night into Saturday, and I was just done. And so my choices were, hey, I can go to Easter with my family, which is 20 people usually at least. On average, there's 20 people. And that is just way too many people for me when I'm working through a trauma response, regardless of where that trauma came from, whether it was, I'm not even gonna go there right now. 20 people's too many for me. So I was like, no, I'm not coming. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll go to church just up the street. Okay, I haven't been to church since before COVID started, other than a funeral, I think. couple funerals, not sure. Anyway, not really have been to church. That wasn't a real sentence. Doesn't matter. Do I really want to go to church where I've endured a lot of spiritual abuse, church hurt stuff. Do I really want to go to church while I'm coming out of a trauma response? Maybe that's not my best choice. So I decided not to go. I didn't go to see family. I didn't go to church. I stayed home and I took care of myself. I listened to a sermon from several years ago by Jen Hatmaker, and it was freaking dope. It was so good and really, really helped me with a lot of issues that I've had with the church. Not like overnight healing, but like it gave me a new perspective that I really appreciated. So you should probably go check that out. Just go on her social media and go find the Easter thing. Yeah, super helpful. So that's all I did on Sunday. Like, I listened to that sermon and I took care of myself. And that is it. And now I'm starting to feel better because I gave myself that time. Excuse me. So something else that I've noticed about myself during this month and this difficulty with these trauma responses. I'm having troubles falling asleep at night because I'm anxious, or because I'm having flashbacks, or I'm afraid that I'm going to have another nightmare. Typically, I don't have just one night of nightmares in a row, so after the first night where I have a nightmare, I'm like, oh shit, like now there's going to be at least one more, if not multiple nights where I'm going to have nightmares. And I need to let that go, and then that's not always going to be the case. It can come down, and maybe I'll only have one night of nightmares. I haven't had nightmares the last 2 nights, and I feel good about that. So, it's just giving yourself time and patience and grace. But what I've noticed is that I'm having troubles falling asleep at night, but then in the morning, so let's say I sleep until 7, I'm having really a lot of difficulty getting out of bed in the morning. I feel just emotionally exhausted. Like, I wake up and feel just done. I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally flatlined. I feel like emotionally I've been hit by a truck. And I'm I'm depressed. So I'm super exhausted and I'm depressed waking up in the morning. And I have one day during the week for sure that I have to be up by like 4:30 because I need to be at work at 7. And I have a commute and there's all these things. So anyways, that morning where I have to be up early, I feel so much better. And I've known that about myself my whole life. Like, if I'm up before 6, I just feel better in general. So yesterday was that day. Wednesdays, I have to be to work at 7. So I was up by 4:30 and I just felt so good. Today, and I've been thinking about this for the last couple weeks. And so what I need to do is I need to go to bed around the same time every night. And I need to start getting up at the same time every day. So if that's going to be 4:15, 4:30, then I need to be going to bed at, between 8 and 9. And that's fine, and that's good. That's no problem. But what I found is that if I wake up at 4:15, 4:30, I feel not depressed. I feel not emotionally exhausted. I actually feel like I have some energy. I feel awake. I feel alive. I feel like I can do this. And so why would I continue going to bed at whatever time, sleeping until 6:30, 7:30, and then waking up feeling like garbage? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But now I'm to a point where, like, I can be louder than my depression, and I can say, hey, I'm actually going to do this other thing. I'm actually going to get out of bed and I'm going to do these things. And then I'm going to feel better throughout the entire day. So all that to say, that is my story for this month. I want to let you guys know that if you are struggling with depression, with anxiety, with PTSD, with some other mental health situation, I know some tips and tricks. Having been in treatment, having done a lot of my own work, having read a lot of resources, I want to be there to help. And sometimes help comes from yourself. It comes from trusting yourself. It comes to listening to your body. So in my mind, getting up at 4:30 every morning is just ludicrous. Why would I do that? But my body says, I feel better if I get up at 4:30. And sometimes it is about saying, brain, I don't really care what you have to say right now, because body says this. And body needs to be listened to. Body needs to be advocated for. Body needs to be honored and respected. So in an effort toward one of my main goals for this year, for the next until I get there, is to work on healing my body, right? And one of the parts of healing my body is not just physically healing it, it is emotionally healing my body. It is saying, body, I see you, I honor you, I respect you. You want to be up at 4:30 so that you feel better? Let's do that. So this is what we're doing. Guys, it is, what time is it? It is 6:30 in the morning. I have started this podcast 3 times this morning because I stumbled over my introduction that many times. And it is good. I am awake. I am ready. I'm going to go for a little walk. And I am just so excited to be already awake, already showered, already food in me. Like, I'm ready for the day. Let's do this. Have a really great week, you guys. If you are in a similar position to what I've been in all month, please reach out to me, to somebody else. Let people support you. If you haven't been going to therapy, highly recommend. Lots of resources for that out there, but please do your thing. Take care of yourself, and we will see you next week.